Vlog number 5 on Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. So we have some really fun, interesting thought processes to share. Everything has its own purpose and need. When the word Swayambhu, one might have heard just as the eyes resembling the petals of Pushkara or the lotus flower. The user manual of life or a simple cycle of life. And for us, if we have to, at that point, I'm expected to align with the nature. I cannot go and misuse or abuse the nature. If I am in showing us the way on how to do certain things or how to perform the karma and the best is coming out, there is a come into existence to show us an example. And it could be, any religious guru or person. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to the Clay Studios oil painting vlog number 5 on Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. This is an oil painting that I have been working on. I'm still working on it. And the painting also follows the principle of Calligram or micrography. Using the method, I am also trying my best to write or paint the names, 1000 names of Sri Vishnu. As I paint along, I am also trying to understand what exactly he refers to through his 1000 names, sharing this little understanding with you through the weekly vlogs. Welcome back once again, and this video is going to cover names 31 through 40 of Sri Vishnu and the important meanings of them. Alongside, we are also going to delve a little deeper to understanding some keys that he has shared, some tips and tricks he has shared with us through his names. One of them is going to be a user manual on life. The other is actually a leadership methodology that he wants to share with us, that is leading by example. So we have some really fun, interesting thought processes to share in this video. So let's jump right into it with first look at the meanings of the names 31 through 40. The 31st name is Om Sambhavaya Namaha. This means one who is born out of his own will or incarnation. In the previous video, I would have explained to you about Narasimha avatar, where Vishnu takes the form of a man and lion, half man, half lion, and comes and saves his beloved little devotee Prahlad. So this is also referring to the idea of leading by example in some way. We will get into the detail later. For now, Om Sambhavaya Namaha means one who is born out of his own will or incarnation, just like the Narasimha avatar. 32nd name is Om Bhavanaya Namaha, one who generates the fruits or karmas of all jiva for them to enjoy. This is a very deeper meaning, and this creation, generation has a very deeper purpose also. We will come back to this after a while. 33rd name is Om Bhartre Namaha, which means one who supports the universe as its substratum. 34th name is Om Prabhavaya Namaha, one from whom all the great elements have their birth, or one who has exalted births or incarnations. I think this is also coming back to the same word of meaning of leading by example through incarnations. If we go back to one of those videos where I explained there is a Vishnu, Mahavishnu called Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, who it's very impossible for a normal human to understand how he looks or something. And then comes the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, who is now lying down here in this painting. The third Vishnu is Kshirodashayi Vishnu, who is also believed to be present in every single cell or element that is living. and he is also having the responsibility of doing this various incarnations. That's the one that is going to show us what is leading by example. We will check out that in a short while. 35th name is Om Prabhave Namaha, one who is an adept in all rites. That means one who is being skilled or proficient. He is the one that is orchestrating everything, isn't it? 36th name is Om Ishwaraya Namaha, one who has ultimate lordliness or power over all the things. Of course, the great orchestrator has the whole power. 37th name is Om Swayambhuve Namaha, one who exists by himself, uncaused by any other. This is again coming back to the point that, he can generate himself of his own will, and everything has its own purpose and need whenever there is a requirement. And the word Swayambhu, one might have heard, just a little bit of example. Swayambhu is something that refers to a particular element that is formed without any other pressure or any other scientifically explainable reason. We call it miracle for us who do not understand it, but it also has its place in Sanatana Dharma, and that is Swayambhu. Swayambhu lingams that's a bigger subject. We don't have to go into that today in this video, but that is something you might want to go Google search and see how they form by nature automatically and dissolve themselves also sometimes and form again. Yes. So Om Swayambhuve Namaha is one who exists by himself, uncaused by any other. 38th name is Om Shambhave Namaha, one who bestows happiness on devotees. 39th is Om Adityaya Namaha. Aditya again refers to the sun, or the brightness, or the purity of the sun, the yellow hue of the sunlight, everything around it. The golden hued person in the sun's orb, that is also a reason why, one of the reasons why we tend to use a yellow color to depict his orb, Vishnu's orb. So coming back to that, Om Adityaya Namaha is the golden hued person in the sun's orb. 40th name is Om Pushkarakshayi Namaha, one who has the eyes resembling the petals of Pushkara or the lotus flower. The lotus flower is something that is frequently used in Sanatana Dharma. From a basic point of view, there are many reasons why. From a basic point of view, if you look at the flower itself, it has that ability to be pure in spite of where it's growing. The filth or dirt doesn't disturb it, and that is the primary easily understandable example we can take to understand why lotus is usually used to represent anything divine in Sanatana Dharma. Om Pushkarakshayi Namaha refers to the beautiful eyes that is resembling petals of Pushkara or lotus flower of Sri Vishnu. With that, we complete the meanings. Now we'll have to go into some of the names and look at these names from the perspective of Bhagavad Gita. Let's do that. So I am now going to read out from Canto number 3 today. I have selected some of the verses and read them out, and then we will look at the meanings of it. So we are going to look at something called the User Manual of Life, or a simple cycle of life. And for us, if we have to define our cycle, we always, give an explanation of us. We are born one day, and then we attain childhood, we attain adulthood, and then we become old or something. So we can explain it in one cycle. We explain our careers in a cycle. We tend to give or understand even products, we have product life cycle, PLM, isn't it? So we tend to use the word cycle frequently to refer to something that comes through a particular process, isn't it? But there is a user manual of life that is created by Sri Vishnu. Let's look at that. So I'm going to read that out right away. So I'm reading 14th verse and 15th verse of Canto number 3. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yajna bhavati parjanyo yajnaha karma samudbhavaha. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarva gatam brahma nityam yagye parishtitam. This means beings or any living beings are born of food, and food is produced from rain. Rain ensues from yajna, and yajna has its origin in karma. Let's take the help of lotus himself as example. So let's see that we have a lotus flower which is having only 5 petals for our understanding right now. Let's say that our first petal is any living being. They are born of food, meaning we live off food. Definitely second petal is food. The third petal is produced from, the food is produced from rain. Yes, and rain is coming from yajna. I think we used this word before as well. Yajna refers to any sacrifice or service, anything rendered, any result of a karma activity. So yajna is also originating from the 5th petal, that is karma, an activity. But what type of activity it is? It is an activity where we are not really attached to the benefits. It's not a money making, it is a money making activity. It could be, but you are not really attached to the benefits. You are just happily giving it out. So that is the yajna. So this is the cycle, simple cycle of life that he has set up for us. And we belong to it as a part here to play the role to do the karma that is handed over to us so that the cycle goes well. He says the center. Let's look at the other half of the meaning from the 15th verse. The karma originates from Brahma, the imperishable, therefore the all-pervading Brahma abides everlastingly within the yajna. So he is pointing to himself, that is creating all this, generating all this. We come back to this word Om Bhavanaya Namaha, where we say that he generates all the fruits or the karmas, everything. So he is the one in the center that is setting up this cycle. What happens when the cycle breaks? Let's look at today's situation. Any natural calamity or even global warming, the cycle is broken. Every time we misunderstand our position in that cycle and we tend to abuse the nature, we don't align with this cycle, we tend to misuse certain things, and because of that it is obstructing the cycle, isn't it? Our food, we are living off the food, and the food is really coming out of the rain, and the rain has to do its job as clockwork. If it misses, there's a drought. If it flows really too much, then there is a flood. So all this imbalance is caused by our misunderstanding of the karma that we have to do, the activities that is in alignment with nature so that nature can do its job. We create an imbalance. He is at the center watching it. We will come back to the leading by example in a short while. But for now, this is the nice user manual for us that he has created. So it's for us to understand that our role is in this cycle to play the part or do the karma that will be very much in alignment with nature. Let's say, for example, that I am an atheist and I don't believe in any God, let's say. Even at that point, I'm expected to align with the nature. I cannot go and misuse or abuse the nature. If I am in alignment with the nature, at least I am doing my part. So that's the minimum expectation, that we do things in alignment with the nature. We fall into this circle happily and the circle serves us. He is also promising that he can make us happy, isn't it? He is saying, when he says that he is the one who is bestowing happiness on devotees, Om Shambhave Namaha, one who bestows happiness. He is promising us that. Only expectation is that we align with the system. So that's the user manual. So we just have to align with nature. Sounds easy, but of course, yeah, we are in a challenging situation, challenging timeline. One step at a time, we might fall into the cycle, yeah, someday. So let's now look at the leading by example. So this is again verses coming from the same canto, number 3, verses 20 and 21. I will read it out and then we'll look at the meaning. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadayah lokasangrahamevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi yadyadacharati shresthatsta tadevetaro janah sa yat pramanam kurute lokastha danuvartate. This means, by performing the karmas bereft of any attachments, this is from the lotus that we are still looking at, from the 5 petals that we are looking at. One of the petals is the karma, bereft of actions, bereft of any attachment, that people such as Janakadyaha, he refers to Janaka, such as Janaka reached perfection. So he is giving actually an example, coming back to the thought of incarnation and why he is coming into existence in this world. Janaka is the father of Sita Devi from the Ramayana, and he is taking him as an example. So each time any religious being or any spiritual person, any leader that is showing us the way on how to do certain things or how to perform the karma and the best is coming out, there is a reason why he is coming in here. And the purpose is definitely to show the way to the world you ought to take to the path of karma. He is coming into existence only to point to us on how to do. So he is at the center. Let's say that example, from the previous example, we just imagine that Vishnu is seated at the center of the flower and there are 5 petals for us. And he is watching us, and he knows that we have made some mistakes and we are not following the rules. So he has to show or come into existence to show us an example. And it could be, any religious guru or person. Every religion that is formed out of this thought process of a person that has showed us a path, and the path was interesting enough, easy enough to understand and start following. And that's the reason we fell into place and started following and say, okay, I follow this religion, I follow that belief and such. So, because whatever an esteemed person does, others follow suit, and that which he accepts as definitive, others adopt the same. Yeah, so he is also trying to create the user manual, not just the user manual of life. He is also showing the user manual of how to lead by example, and that's the reason why each and every incarnation has come into being. So that's the interesting section for today that we have covered, leading by example and also the user manual of life. I hope you liked it. Please do share your thoughts and feedback on this session. Until we meet in the next vlog, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated. Bye bye.